Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I'd like to begin this post by inviting you to God. I want to say that we have all fallen short of what we are supposed to be like. And we, for one reason or another, are distanced from God. God is as close as we are to us, but we are distanced from God. So it wouldn't hurt to ask for forgiveness. God is willing to forgive you for any sin. And let me tell you, from what you would consider the worst sin, I don't know what that is, until the least sin, I don't know what that is. But sin is sin. And if you want to be forgiven for them, God will forgive you. But now, being forgiven for them gotta mean something to you. You just can't say, forgive me. I mean, you got to recognize that there's something that you missed, caused some pain or some shortcomings that you regret. And you wish that hadn't happened, and you would do everything you possibly can to prevent that from happening in the future. And so then you can ask an authority that has that kind of power to forgive you for it. And so I want you to know that God is always willing to forgive. Today I want to tell you also that America's survival will be determined on her ability for blacks and whites to come together. As long as blacks and whites are separate, America is going nowhere. America is in the condition that is in today because of its reality that they refuse to accept. And that's the treatment between whites and blacks. It has bothered them to such a degree that many of those people who are whites that are against so much really against the blacks, that they are in the positions of power. They got the ability to control this and to control that. In fact, as you see, Democrats who are not that much better than Republicans are trying to do something for the people. And at the same time, you see that Republicans are trying to do everything they possibly can, as Miss Clinton so wonderfully said just the other day. I heard her make a speech on YouTube, and she was saying that Republicans are talking about their compassion for the family, for children, and all of these different things they want to attach themselves to. And yet, while the government, under the authority at the present time of Democrats, are trying to feed these concerns that the people have, in every turn, the Republicans are going against it. They are going against helping families feed their kids, child care, or a little education help here. And anything that they're trying to do, that the Republicans are against it. Now, why are they against it? Because they really don't have a plan for us, the people, right now or in the future. So what does that mean? That means basically that they do have a plan. By not having a plan, they do have a plan. In the process, what they're doing is trying to distort everything that's happening. Everything that the Democrats are doing, they try to point a finger at it. For instance, like they will even lie to go to the extent when we were talking about stealing an election, which was not true, but they were giving this information. They were perpetuating this lie, and they still are doing it. So why do you think they're doing it? Why do you think they're doing it? Well, as I see it, it appears to me as if though they have made a decision. The white people in power have made a decision that the dynamics of America is changing to the degree that they don't want to have anything to do with it. So what they are saying is that they love their power and they want to maintain their power. And what is their power? Their power is white supremacy. Say it again. Their power is white supremacy. Look at it like this. White people came to this country. There were people here already, but white people took it. They took the land. They took over every system that was already in place. They took it and put their names on it. They took it, put their control powers on it. They even took a nation of people and enslaved them. They had no rights. They were just to serve the supreme white. And this is what America was founded on. This is what America was built on. This is what America exists on. White power, white supremacy. The point of it is things have changed. People recognize what's going on. People are being, I want to say, born again. Not with God, but they're just waking up. Somebody say they woke up, and they are not going for this kind of crap anymore. You see, all kind of technology is advancing. Look at the telephone, look at the TV, look at the cars, look at everything that's people put their hands to. It's all advancing except one thing, and that's human nature. The same thing that is happening in America. That is an indication that the love and kindness that we would require in order to live in a state that seems to be like paradise or like heavenly, it's not allowed. Why? Because we in a system that says no way, Jose. That means it is an enemy. And an enemy of peace. It's an enemy of prosperity for all. It is an enemy for joy in life. And so what that means is if you and your heavenliness is based upon your righteousness and your God, then the opposite is that you're being influenced by evil. In other words, you are being influenced by a different religion. It has nothing to do with Christianity, but as many have given substantiation to, is that it's Freemasonry, a religion that is held up to promote an anti-God, trying to make you think God, the true God, is evil. The true God it has no life, and only real God, the real God, is the one that says you can do anything. Just do whatever you want. Don't care how much pain it causes. Don't care, because then it allows you to lie and take people's land. It allows you to make people slaves. It allows you to, in doing these things, to create the premise for racism and hatred and bigotry. It allows all these things to happen because they are basically demonic. And so if you don't think that is true, all you got to do is listen to what I've just said. And now let's go over across the waters a little bit. Let's look at Ukraine. Look at Russia. Another group of white people. What is it all about? It's about taking guns, taking bullets, taking missiles, taking ships, taking tanks, taking planes, taking bombs, going over to another land where people are living, trying to demand and control what they do or what they don't do, and threatening to blow them up if they don't listen to you. Now, how much plainer can Satan be? How much plainer can Satan be? We see it all in America, and then we're seeing it right capitalized right over there, ready to go to start doing that stuff any day now. And we are people sitting here calling ourselves somebody. We're losing America to a lie because we've been deceived. Watching other people getting ready to be smashed. Because here again, we're deceived. All of us are living under the controls of Satan. I don't care how good you think you got. Everything that you think you got in the world and in America is allowed because it does not, infringe upon the rights of the Satan to control our lives. And that's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. What I'm telling you, you might have heard before. But I tell you one thing, I will admit, I don't care how sanctimonious I stand. I don't care how much I feel that everything I'm telling you is the absolute truth. I want to tell you that not a single one of you are listening to a word I'm saying. It doesn't mean a thing to you. I'm believing that when you stop on this post, the one or two of you that do, it's just a laugh. Because you're not listening to anything. Let me tell you something. You listen. Let me give you an example of what I mean. In 78, 79, that's been quite a few years ago, I stopped working. I got off a job because I took on another job. And what was that job? To tell you some truth that you have been denied. And in that process, I've washed some dishes, trying to get a few pennies to help out. What else have I done? Whatever it is, you can bet your last money it ain't been to make no money. I quit working so long ago that when I stopped, they were taking Social Security money for Social Security. So when you get old as I am, you might have some kind of income coming in. I quit so long ago, I get $300 a month. How many of you, there might be some of you out there that don't get anything. And you might think that $300 a month is a great thing. But I tell you, if you think it's a great thing, you ask my wife. She'll tell you that $300 ain't worth nothing as far as the living in this society that we live in every day. Because it costs. It costs to live. But I have, because I know what I'm talking about. And I use this as motivation. I know not having money hurts. But I also know that working through the system is the same thing that allows the pain, allows the suffering to exist. It allows people to hate. It allows people to be racist. It allows the war to take place over yonder. It allows Donald Trump to come in here and lie. Not only that, I know what I'm talking about. I've committed crimes and I ain't hid it. I've taken money from people that I work for and told the police, advertised it myself so I could talk to you. Go to court, knowing the only thing I can get in court is to get it documented because you didn't show up. And I couldn't get that much documented because the judge didn't want to allow it. But I did it. I ended up going to prison because I wanted to tell you, take an advantage of a moment to tell you some truths that you have been denied and you're too blind to even see. You think I love going to jail? You think I love going to prison? You think I love not having anything? Do you know what a man does? A man sits down and put on his clothes. He stands up and says, I'm going to do this, and he does that. He can get in his car and go where he want to go. He can pay he ain't got to worry about housing. He ain't got to worry about, a man ain't got to worry about those things. But when you get up, in everything you do, you got to see if it meets somebody else's approval. And you call yourself a man. And you still call yourself a man because you know that everything that you're doing is righteous. You know it's righteous. Why is it righteous? Because it would eliminate the suffering. It would eliminate the pain. People could have careers. And having careers, it would enable you to participate in the creative process of all those things that you say are so important. And you don't have to walk around like you're cheating. You don't have to walk around like you're stealing. You can be a man or an adult and hold your head up high. Why? Because there's nobody bigger than you but God. And you know you're no bigger than anybody else. You respect one another. And then I tell you stuff like this. I've gone through this because I know what I'm telling you. And you let a liar come in and tell you he's a billionaire. You let a liar come in and tell you all of these lies and you go crazy. Not just the people that say, thank you, God, for sending him. This is our Savior. But everybody else who try to pretend like they're interested in something else with a camera. This man, every lie came out of his mouth. It's been repeated over 1 million times. All across the world. Somebody tell you about your peace and they won't tell you you got to pay. You want somebody to know that there's some freedom, you got to pay the media to tell it. Or you got to do something so destructive. Set yourself on fire. Become a Unabomber. What's all that about? Trying to tell to the world that there's something going on that's causing the problems that we have. And it requires some certain different kind of actions to stop it. Golly. I didn't. Sound like I really care about you, doesn't it? I really do. I care about myself too. You know, every time I see you, if you coming from church or whatever, I look at you and I'm wondering, what did you go to church for? Because the things that you were talking about at church, I have given you information to explain how you can get it. You don't even want to hear it. I look at you struggling within the system, watching these prices go up. I remember gas used to cost 30-something cents a gallon. A gallon. Everything went up but the gas. The gas. It went up. Today we almost paying $4 here in Minnesota. But you still only getting a gallon. Ain't there something wrong with that? How is it that a pound of beef could cost one thing, and then you turn it around and say it's a scarcity, can't get it to you, then the prices go up? When people are hurting, the prices should go down. If people are hurting, the prices maybe should be removed. But no, you're saying, give me what's important, money. The price is up, price is up. But you're not getting any more. What does that tell you? What does that tell you that's happening to you? I mean, how far, how deep do you have to dig into a hole before you can see you're being choked? Yeah. Somebody may say, well, Eddie, why don't you go and get a job? Get more money. I'm going to ask you something. If somebody told you to go sell some crack, if somebody told you to sell some coke, if somebody told you to go prostitute yourself, would you do it? You say, nah, because that's some evil stuff. Well, that's the same way you look at drunk people. You say what they're doing is evil. But I'm telling you, when your righteousness look at all of you, that's all it sees. Where's the goodness? Where's the change? Where's the peace? Do you see it coming in anywhere? Where's the freedom? Where is it at? Where is it coming from? If you don't see it coming, that's because ain't no God around you. There is a God, but you don't know him. Forgive me for saying him. You don't know God. Whew. Well, I think that's about enough. I don't think you can take it anymore. I'm going to leave it to you. Y'all have a nice day.